Coach, thanks. We are about 12 miles south of the future home of the Chargers at the current home of the Chargers, and that's Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and our home team. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
Come on, fellas. Ready? 60 outlaw. Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. He's coming. He's got any weapon. We got
Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 47.
Second down, Haskins. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Remember, of course, he threw 5 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive, same result here.
But it's hard to believe that you can throw 5 in the previous week and start out your very next game the exact same way. He's going to need a lot of support on his own sideline. Make sure he gets really fully mentally into this one.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 46-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. On second down, here's Locke. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. Running on first down, Eckler. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. It was Duke Dawson on the tackle, the second-round pick in 2018.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Broncos.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Tight right. Hey, we got 4 down. 47's the mic. 47's the mic. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Shift! Watch the shift!
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. 3rd down. Here's Haskins. He's going to let this go for the end zone. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from it. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice, where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Lock to throw on 2nd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Let's go now.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of 2. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Check 3, check 3.
2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Brings up third down and 10.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Haskins out of the gun. And that will be incomplete.
Pass on third down. Intended for number 15. Incomplete. Results in a fourth down.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And some room to run now. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after one. Now Eckler. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd and 7, Haskins. He'll get this to Eckler. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, we look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they went with the elusive, slippery guy. Couldn't get in there, though. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 3rd and goal, Haskins. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Darius Slayton, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score.
Let's go.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand there, for nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. So they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They look to throw. It's locked. And they'll be inside the red zone with a ball at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Here we go. Henry. Hey, we heavy on the edges.
On second down, Eckler. And the agility got him a few extra before he's taken down right at the 10. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with touchdown number 7 on the year. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
It's a gain of 6, and it's 3rd down.
An extra cornerback now in the game for the Chargers here on 3rd. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Taking it about the 16. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Let's bring it. Both 4-7's the mic. 4-7's the mic.
All day, baby, all day.
Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Check, check, hit up, hit up. Check, check, check.
Looking to throw, Haskins. His throw incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist, 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 twist. Safe.
Now Haskins, third and long. He's going to fire one deep open. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Call that a gain of 38. A big march forward on the third down conversion. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. And not much running room. Down to the 32. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
32-yard line. 47, check back 47.
Right. Slam.
On 2nd and 7, Haskins. That ball complete to Isabella. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Haskins on third down. That is caught at the 7. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. In for the score. The Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
He's got his big tight end, Fant.
Here we go.
We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Let's go now.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now, so as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Joey Bosa in there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third and long, it's Locke. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 44. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
At the 44-yard line.
Hey, come on. 47. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long.
Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Haskins to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
It's fourth down.
Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A first carry now for Kofrani Muhammad. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Locke to throw. Escapes the sack. And the pressure gets to him again. Joey Bosa able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Haskins will throw, and he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Ready.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes where those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm has it.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 29. And this is going to be a Charger touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Hauschka with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken in at the 1.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. To throw it is Locke. And a little floater there is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Locke will try again on 2nd down. And my goodness, another interception. Derwin James with a pick. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Locke. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Locke going to throw. He's got his man. That's Wallace. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Locke. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Faking the give to Lindsey. Here's Locke. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
On 1st down, Locke. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On the carry, it's Muhammad. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Should rely more on the passing attack?
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Locke to throw for it on 4th. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And this is going to be incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
4 down.
Going on the ground with Eckler. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Chargers on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Haskins now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
25, check 25, check 25.
On the ground, it's Eckler. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the 11-yard line.
50 to Mike, 50 to Mike. Here we go.
It's Eckler again. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here is Eckler. And he'll be tackled right on the 10, well short of the 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. Here's Locke. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Flush to his right, to the goal line, but it's incomplete. I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Charger drive about to get going. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Let's go. Here we go. Watch 7. Watch 7.
Haskins going to try to throw it. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Brings up a 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
I'm coming.
They'll run here with Eckler. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down, L.A. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the home team here, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Southern California.